Here in Managua, Nicaragua, we're on the Carretera Masaya, which is the Masaya Road. It's the main road between Managua, the capital, and Masaya. Right here at the foothills of the Masaya volcano, what was a surprise to me when I saw it, Poligono Magnum shooting range. Magnum shooting range, rent guns, buy ammunition, and shoot all you like. So in some places it's not as difficult to own guns as other places, and Nicaragua seems to be a place that is fairly open to it. So this range, Poligono Magnum here in Managua, Nicaragua, is at the base of the Masaya volcano. And you can see what looks like clouds. That is not clouds, that is an active volcano, and there is sulfur smoke coming out of the top of that. And what I am standing here is one of the not too distant volcanic eruptions. This entire field is volcanic flow, essentially. A lot of sharp rocks, a lot of volcanic rocks, and that thing does blow up every now and then. Combine that with a few earthquakes, it adds a little bit of spice to your shooting range time. So just keep in mind that the range is right in the path of any volcanic eruptions that might or could occur. Last big one was back in the 90s. A couple cars got crushed with some of these big rocks that came out of it. So again, if you want an interesting shooting experience, you can definitely come down here. So at this range, they have, as you can see, a lot of steel targets. This is the pistol range. They do a lot of training here. They actually do IPSC, Steel Challenge. And I asked them about it. They said they tried a 3-gun event one time. They only had one stage, which was a 3-gun, but since they restricted some of the rifles, they used 22 rifles and just pump-action shotguns for the 3-gun event. They do have a national shooting team here in Nicaragua. They only have maybe a little more than a dozen people, and they have an Olympic shooting team as well for small bore. So this is actually quite a good-sized range. Interesting thing to note is all the walls in the back of the range, that's all volcanic rock. That just piled up because volcanic rock is one thing we have plenty of here. A lot of training goes on here at the Poligono Magnum de Tiro. Right now we're observing some security training. A lot of security agencies in the country will use the range here for training their officers. They actually have been speaking to some of the instructors, and they actually will use the Israeli method, combine some Krav Maga techniques and Israeli shooting positions, Israeli combat shooting. Another thing that they do is, since they work so closely with the Israelis, they also use Israeli Jericho pistols, or in this class actually they're restricted simply revolvers and shotgun use. This is one of the pistol ranges. You can see they have steel targets, and we'll be observing some of the other ranges here.
Voy a hacer a punto.
I'm here with the owner of the Poligono Magnum, the Magnum shooting range, Salvador Luna. Here in his office, and we'll take a little tour of his gun shop here. We were at the range earlier. And I just want to ask him a few questions about what does it take to own a gun in Nicaragua, to have concealed carry for personal protection, what type of firearms people can own. And he wanted me to make sure I mentioned the first thing was that people in the United States need to understand that we hear a lot of news about Central America and a lot of crime and dangers. Nicaragua is actually quite unique in really all of Latin America, and that it is probably the safest country south of the border. Crime here is very low. The people, the police are on top of everything, so you have very little violent crime in Nicaragua, and that's something that tourists certainly appreciate. But that's the most important thing. So I'm just going to interview Mr. Luna to find out, and I'll do the translation underneath here. We'll do it in Spanish. What does it take to own a gun? So alguien entra aquí en su tienda y le pide, yo quiero comprarme un arma. ¿Qué es la primera cosa que necesita?
Entonces nosotros le damos la información de los requisitos o documentos que va a requerir para que la policía le dé el aval, o sea, el permiso de compra.
Una licencia.
Entonces, él necesita primero un récord de policía, lo que es el background de la persona.
Criminal background check.
Criminal check, exacto. Luego necesita un certificado judicial, que no tiene ningún juicio pendiente, trial, que no tiene. Él
Okay, so,
está,
esto aquí explicar porque this is very important. What he's saying is first you have to do the criminal background check for the police. Then you have to make sure that there are no judicial judgments or pending judicial judgment against you, criminal or civil. Which, of course, in the United States, civil is completely separate from criminal, but here,
but maybe an accident.
it could be a traffic accident.
A
You could be suing your neighbor because his branches were hanging over the fence. It could be any criminal or civil
Yeah.
pending cases.
Also,
so that's to be clear.
might be a behavioral, not too good behavior inside his home.
Como problemas en la casa, como
If
peleando
he
con
hits
otra
his
cosa.
wife, for
Yeah,
example, it's enough to deny to him a permit to buy gun.
So it could be, like you said, it could be that it can have a domestic. Well, in the United States we have that as well. You have a domestic dispute, and they can block. So any red flags that pop up, that can stop the process.
Yep.
La próxima es la salud, ¿verdad?
Certificado de salud, que está muy bien de salud. No, yo no estoy demasiado de acuerdo con él, pero es una solicitud más que hace la
Y eso
policía.
se saca de cualquier
Con un
doctor.
médico o un departamento hospital o un centro de salud para que lo examinen y que esté en buen estado de salud.
So you have to pass a health exam, making sure that you're in good health. You're not, mentally off. You're not blind.
No, it's a different certificate,
Oh,
a psychological certificate that you will take it with a psychiatrist or psychological.
No, it's an additional one. So in addition to a health certificate, you have to have a psychological certificate as well.
Yeah, it's different. Well, plus you need to come here in order to get a proper invoice of the gun that you are going to or you want to purchase.
So you get the invoice, and then eso se lleva a la
You get
policía.
the proform invoice, and you take all these papers to the police, the district where you belong, and they will give it to you, we call it in Spanish, the aval. That means a permit to purchase. So you return here with your aval and buy the gun that you want.
Esto se hace para cada arma o solo para la primera?
The first time,
Okay, so you don't have to do this every time you buy a gun, just for the first one.
only the first time. The second time, you only need to bring here your police permit to carry. Okay? And this is enough to buy the second gun.
Okay, the police permit to carry, that's para cargarla.
Yeah, to carry.
That's a separate license.
A separate license. The first is to purchase. And then you go with the invoice to the police, and they will give you a permit with a photo. It's like an ID.
Like an ID, okay.
I will show you one. This is a police.
Oh, it looks like a driver's license. So that's your
Look at
permit.
driving license.
This is the permit para comprar. This is the permit
This
to
is the
purchase.
permit. No, this is the permit to carry the weapon that they describe right here.
Oh, okay, so it describes a specific pistol you have to carry. Pistola esa, just that.
And only that.
What do you need to get that?
Once you get the aval, you buy the gun, get the police with the invoice, and the police will give you this. If everything is okay?
You don't have to go in any training to get this? No training?
Yeah, I forgot that. You have to go to the range to receive a small basic pistol course and safety course.
And then,
It takes about 1 hour,
okay, muy bien. All right.
yeah, but it's something.
So and then this permit, is it good the entire country?
Entire country.
All right, so it's not like it's good for one state or another. Once you get the carry permit, and you can
Yeah.
carry concealed,
You can carry concealed, you can carry inside your bag or,
can you carry
Automobile.
open or no?
well, this is contrary to the US. You cannot have your pistol showing to everybody.
You have to carry
You
concealed.
have to carry concealed.
Very good. And what about what types of pistols are available? Any type of revolver or handgun?
Any type of handguns.
And no caliber?
Between 17 to 45.
So so 22, 17, any caliber,
Any caliber,
and
any gun.
a Glock, Walther, Smith &
Any
Wesson.
weapon. Any type of weapon.
Okay, as far as handguns.
Handguns.
And do you do this for rifles as well?
Rifles up to, well, they are restricted in full auto rifle, you cannot
No full auto.
have it.
Okay.
But you can have a semi-automatic rifle.
22 or anything else?
Any caliber, semi-auto. Even with the military shape.
So like a semi-auto AK, semi-auto M16.
Yeah, but well, with that guns, the police is, have a certain type
They're
of
nervous.
restriction.
Okay.
Despite the law, an AR rifle is not too good here. You know, about the law, it's okay because it's saying
The law says you can have it.
Say no, but we made just a conversation with the police. They don't like the people were using an M16 or AR semi-auto. Okay, you can have it a semi-auto only, but they don't like it. Just they give you permission to bring this type of rifle and to sell it just to certain customer.
So they have to really have confianza. They have to really kind of
Yeah,
trust you.
they trust me, and I'm going to sell it just for shooters very well known on the firing range, friend of mine, and that type of thing. And I don't bring large quantity. I mean, I bring 5, 10 rifles, no more than that.
Okay.
For my friends, the people that I know.
But you can't, so you know, this is actually, when we think about the United States, this is actually a fairly liberal laws. I mean, this is, the laws here in Nicaragua, it's easier to own a gun here than it is in New Jersey or New York. You know, in New York City, you'd be better off living here than living in New York City.
You can see the crime rate in Nicaragua with weapons of firearms is very low.
Violent crime and murders are extremely low.
Yeah, and the total number of people who died for a gunshot in Nicaragua, only the 2% they did it with legal guns, because there exist illegal guns. We have maybe more than 100,000 guns that are not legalized correctly yet, especially far from Managua.
Yeah, out in the countryside,
Yeah.
it's a little,
Yeah, and we know that.
it's a Wild West. Okay, well, I want to take a look at the shop, and you can show us around the shop very well.
Okay.
Here we are at the Poligono Magnum shop. We were at the range earlier, and just to show a sampling of some of the rifles you can get. Obviously, a lot of .22s, plenty of shotguns, and a lot of target rifles, like high-powered rifles as well, including the Ruger, which is one that I like quite a bit, and quite a lot of handguns as well. Some of the handguns available here. Actually, we see some nice collection of old guns, the Luger,
Look at this.
and broom handle Mauser. Very nice. Nambu, right? Nambu pistol. Raging Hornet there. That's a popular gun. And of course, you have plenty of Glocks, as well as used handguns. Right? Tankfolio, and one interesting here that one like original Russian Makarov.